Hello! Day 3 of being officially stuck in the house. Hope everybody's doing okay and staying healthy. That is the main goal. Healthy, healthy, healthy. As it's time for burning things, as promised. So, disclaimer. This is an activity that, if there's kids watching, should be done with parents or supervision from a guardian, an adult, somebody who is older and knows what they're doing, because you are playing with fire. Fire is not a toy. Fire is not something that you should screw around with. So we are going to do this carefully. I've done this a lot of times. It's a really cool project and something that is another project that you can do with the things that you have at home. So that's what's important, because we're not supposed to be leaving. So what I have here is, I just have a box wrapped in aluminum foil, and I have a tile, just a white tile. It's a bathroom tile, something you can get at Home Depot, Walmart, anywhere. Some of you may have some laying around due to like household work that you've done. Next, I have Sharpies. Sharpies. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm a fan of blue everything, and I like warm colors. I think they look really cool. So basically what you do is you take your Sharpie and you color all over your tile. You scribble all over. It doesn't have to look pretty because you're going to be moving it around anyways. So this is going to be fun. I didn't prep the alcohol correctly, but that's okay. So, literally scribbling. Scribble here, scribble here, scribble here. And this does not take a lot of time, which is why I'm actually doing it while I'm filming this, because I want to show you guys that this is something that can be done with kids of all ages, with adults. It's a lot of fun. Hey, Tom. Okay, so once I figure this out, get this done, a couple more colors, and I'll show you what's going on. Ooh, that's not supposed to happen. Add some purple. Some pink. All right, so this is what it looks like. It's literally just scribbled all over. Scribble, scribble, scribble. All right, so now you take 91% rubbing alcohol. It will not work with 50. It won't work with 71. 91% rubbing alcohol. This is really hard to find right now due to the lovely hoarders that we have around. Because I didn't prep it correctly, we're just going to wing this. So it's easier if you use a spray bottle, but you can use a dropper as well. This is one of those straws that comes on the Capri Sun. So I'm just going to drop some alcohol. You want to do this liberally, which you don't want it to like be all over the place crazy, but you want to make sure that pretty much every area of the alcohol is touching where the Sharpie is, and I'll show you why in just a second. Okay, I think I have enough alcohol on here now. Again, 91%. Make sure it's 91%. Now, what this is doing, I'll show you guys. What this is doing is it's allowing, there it is, allowing the alcohol to break down the Sharpie and moving it all over the tile. It starts to look kind of like psychedelic-ish, I guess. Alright, so I'll set you guys up, and then I will... Whoops. Alright, I'll finish moving these colors around. Now the fun part, and the part that needs an adult. So, barbecue lighter. I don't suggest using an actual like cigarette lighter. Not a good idea. And you set it on fire wherever you want on the tile. It will go up in flames, and slowly it will burn away the alcohol. And as it's burning away the alcohol, it's drying what you did on the tile. You can drop more alcohol on it at this time or spray it with a spray bottle, but that is something that is absolutely needs to be taken very carefully, because you are spraying an accelerant onto something that is lit on fire. So I'm talking small amounts, just little drops. But once it's done, you have a cool, smoky looking tile, and you can use whatever colors you want. Like I said, I'm more of a warm color person. And if you want to, even after you're done doing that, you can take some more alcohol and just drip it in certain places. And light it on fire again. Make sure that everything dries. And you can start to make really cool designs on it. This works a lot better with a spray bottle, but it doesn't have to be a spray bottle. All right, so that's it for the lighting stuff on fire. So that is one activity that you can do if you have those types of supplies at home. I did just learn from a friend that Barnes & Noble is doing curbside pickup from online orders if you want. So if you're going stir crazy and you need a new book, it is beautiful outside. I highly suggest going outside and reading a book. That's another thing that this quarantine has showed me, is that I love the sounds of the birds in the morning. And even if it's cold, go outside and just listen. Close your eyes. Just allow yourself to relax in that moment and not stress about all kinds of things. And you'll realize that the nature around you is a lot more than you take in every day, because we're so busy, go, 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 go all day. And you miss all of that. Right now, we have nothing to do. Not all of us. There are people that are working, first responders, police officers, fast food workers, regular food workers, grocery store workers. Good Lord, there are so many people working right now, and I appreciate all of you. I appreciate everything that you do. You are the heroes right now and always. Everybody is. Everybody has a part to play in the functioning of the world, regardless of how much schooling you have, how much training you have, how much time you have spent in trouble. Doesn't matter. Everybody has a place. Everybody has a reason for what you're doing and where you're at. And if you don't feel important, it's times like this that show you you are important. There are certain families that are literally relying on fast food to live at this point, because their grocery stores are empty, or they have family members that are sick or susceptible to this illness and they can't leave the house, and maybe they don't have enough groceries. So without the people that are making the fast food, they wouldn't be around. So no matter what you do, you're important. Make sure that you tell yourself that. So the burning of the tiles, you can do it with any size tile. I have like a really large tile here too, and maybe I'll do that at the end of the video and show you what it looks like. But today I told you that I was going to teach you an activity called quilling. Paper quilling is its formal name, I guess you could say. It's another thing that you can look up online. You can get some great ideas. It looks difficult. It's not. It really, really isn't. I happened to leave my quilling supplies with a client of mine, so after I told you guys that I was going to do quilling yesterday, I realized that I don't have any of my stuff to do quilling, so I, just like you will have to do, I made my own quilling supplies. So basically what I did is I took some regular, just 8.5 by 11 paper, and I cut it into strips. Doesn't matter if they're all even, they're not that pretty. You can order quilling supplies off of Amazon. They will send you like 1,000 little strips of paper, and it's way, way, way easier than cutting it on your own. But again, we have all the time in the world right now, so I don't really worry about, oh, this is going to take me 20 minutes to do. And it's good to teach your kids some life skills. Cut some paper. Do it safely. Pretty please. I don't want anybody to get hurt by following what I'm doing on these videos as I'm safely setting things on fire and cutting a lot of paper up. So I also don't have a glue stick, so I won't be able to completely complete the activity that I'm teaching you, but I want to show you the basics of it. So what you need, strips of paper, ideally a glue stick because it works really well, and some paper. I love to use cardstock or cardboard or a random box that you have around the house, something hard. Canvas would be cool, but again, not everybody has these things laying around. Piece of wood. We're going to work with some wood crafts next episode. And then you need something small to twirl these papers up. So the quilling supplies comes with like this little pen. It almost looks like the straw that we used for the alcohol. Hey, Jack. So I'm going to improvise with the Capri Sun straw. I'm going to put a little slit in the top of it. And by putting a little slit in the top of it, I'm creating an area for the paper to stick. That will work better. There we go. Okay. So what you do is you stick the paper into the little slit that you made, or if you want, you can use toothpicks. Toothpicks would work perfectly fine. I'm actually going to use a toothpick because the straw is not cooperating with me right now. So you're basically just rolling this piece of paper around the toothpick. The beginning is the hardest, obviously, because you don't have like official tools, but all you're doing is rolling the paper up. Alright, so I'll roll this up and then I'll show you what you do with it after that. You can also use like the fork, a fork that just use like one of the 4 prongs at the top. If you have one of those fancy giant 3-prong forks, might not work for you. I keep getting lucky at the restaurants and they accidentally roll those into my silverware. It feels very strange to use it. Another one of those Jeopardy moments where Ashley's rolling paper and not doing anything interesting. I'm totally nerded out today. Have my Ravenclaw shirt on. For those of you that don't know, that's one of the Harry Potter houses. It is the house that I belong to, as well as my Deathly Hallows necklace. It is nothing evil, Dad, I promise. Okay, so you have a tiny little rolled piece of paper. You can keep it like this. Dog. You can keep it like this, or you can let it go a little bit. Let it stretch out. And then you can shape it. So you can shape it like a teardrop. You can shape it like an eye. I don't know if you can see that. You can shape it like a square. All kinds of different shapes. So the reasoning for the shapes is that you create designs out of them. So it would have been immensely proactive of me to roll a bunch of these, come up with a bunch of shapes, and then put them on a piece of paper. But this is just lovely homework for you, I guess. Maybe the straw will work better for me this time. It doesn't seem to want to. Let's see. That'll work. Beautiful. All right, the straw's gonna behave. Hi, Tara. Okay. We are doing paper quilling. Tara, if you don't end up watching from the beginning of the video, your kids would love. So I put the paper in the slit that I created in the straw, and I'm just gonna spin it around. And the paper, twisting with the straw is way easier than twisting with the Q-tip, because the Q-tip doesn't have anything to hold the paper. The slit that I've cut in the straw allows the paper to just twist. So it's going to end up twisting up way quicker than it did with the... Alright, now pop it off the straw. And you have your circle again. You can let it go. You can even stretch it out more if you want to. And then once you shape it, let's do what are those girly designs called? Paisleys. Let's do a paisley. So that's a paisley. And again, this is way easier with a glue stick, just a glue stick, because you're going to glue that little edge down. And then what you're going to do is when you have your design on your piece of paper, you're going to, I shouldn't use the same color. So when you put your design on your paper, you're going to put the glue on the paper, and then you're going to glue your little quilled piece down. And something great for kids is doing their initial. So what you'll do is you'll draw their initial in like a bubble letter. Nobody is good at that. Don't worry. Don't be discouraged. You can even print one off online and cut it out. Their initial works great. Doing a circle works great. Or just giving them a piece of paper and letting them do their own thing. So again, all you need, strips of paper, a piece of paper, ideally something that you can stick the paper in and twirl it because it's easier. Again, a fork works, Q-tip would work, toothpicks work, the straws on the Capri Suns work, or if you have like a crochet needle or something. It's better if you have something that's super small because then you can get like these tiny designs. But for kids, it doesn't matter about the tiny designs. Like a pen would work perfectly fine for kids. All you gotta do is just cut the paper into little strips, pick what color you want, roll it up, and then shape it. So please, please, please go on Google because I don't have my normal supplies, so I wasn't able to like create something cool for you to see today, which I'm super bummed, but I'm going to work on it today, and then I'll show you tomorrow something that I have that I made from just what I had, as well as the woodcraft that I'm going to try and do tomorrow. So Google paper quilling. I will put a link in the post that I share for this to a Google page that has a lot of really cool quilling designs. And yeah, so things to remember today. Don't forget about the safety of the fire stuff. Tara, I think your kids would actually really like that too. I don't know if you have tiles laying around, but it would be awesome. They could do their cheer colors. I'm going to do that bigger tile as well, just so that you guys can see exactly what I mean by that. And then the Barnes & Noble thing. Remember, if you need a good book. And fresh air. Please, please, please be getting some fresh air right now. There's so much stuff that you could be doing. All right. Let's see what this tile can look like. We'll pick some different colors. Maybe something brighter. Something my sister would do. That's pretty. Pinks, oranges, bright greens. Let's see. Yes, Tara. I just really noticed that, as I said in my first video, I don't know if you've seen it, but I was noticing my timeline getting super negative. Very, very negative. Everybody was like, because it's the end of the seasonal depression season, and anxiety's at an all-time high. Everybody's afraid, and you're trying to keep your kids not afraid. And like, we're in Wayne County in Michigan. For those of you that aren't in Michigan, it's interesting. Do some research about it. No need to spread the negativity on here, because positivity is my game right now. No negativity. We are happiness all the way. But yeah, this is super cool. I love it. There's Rachel. I just mentioned you. I was talking about I would pick the colors that you would choose if you were doing this, because I always choose like the dark blues and the purples and stuff like that I like, but I decided to choose some bright, pretty colors. Ooh. Very sniffly today, I apologize. It's that lovely time of year where Mother Nature can't make up her mind. However, this I can handle. Thank you, Mother Nature. I appreciate this day more than you can imagine. Just about done with the scribbles. Okay, so I scribbled all over the giant tile. This is going to be a little more. Hufflepuff is not better than Ravenclaw. We are all awesome. Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, Gryffindor, and Slytherins. I had a brief reign as a slightly identifying as a Slytherin. It was a thing. Goodness gracious. There it is. Found my straw. Okay. So, dropping the alcohol all over. This is a lot harder when you don't have your spray bottle, because it's in my car. And I don't have my car right now. Alright. Enter in one of those waiting game songs. Again, this does not take as long if you have a spray bottle. Maybe I should just grab one. There's one downstairs, but that's just too long. They should have a pause button on these things. Hi, Brooke. I am currently showing how to do the tile design. I've done it with a few clients, and they really, really love it because it's easy. It's something that is inexpensive, and it doesn't take a lot of coordination or organization, I guess you should say. So it's a lot less stressful, a lot more fun, and it's not every day that you get to light stuff on fire. So I'll show you what it looks like so far. So I put the alcohol on it, and it kind of spread everything out, and I'm going to give it a spread as well. I think I just got some alcohol in my pants. That's cool. Alright, so now that that's done, set you back up. And we'll light it. It dries up very quickly. One day, true story, I tried this in my car because a client of mine was on quarantine and he wasn't allowed to get out of the car. So I wanted to show him this, and I thought that, I'll just do it in my car. Thankfully, I have a sunroof. Because if I didn't have a sunroof, that would have been very bad. As these dry, they also become a little bit brighter. This is the one that we did in the beginning of the video. It turns out a little bit brighter after it dries completely. So this is the one that I just did. So it turns out really smoky, really pretty. Every single one is different. You could do like a wall with this. You could do a wood project where you build a little frame for it. I have a Cricut machine. For those of you that don't have a Cricut or aren't familiar with a Cricut, it cuts out vinyl so you can do your name, and you could put, like, I could put Ashley across the front of this, and I actually have 6 tiles. Yeah, 6 tiles that I'm going to make like a wood thing and put my daughter's name on it and hang it up in her room. And it turns out really, really, really cool. It's good to the touch. It doesn't like hurt. And then you seal it afterwards with just a clear finish, low odor, very clear. You can do a matte finish, you can do a shiny finish, and you want to seal it because if I was to start rubbing this right now, the Sharpie would start to move around, come off, things of that nature. Alright, so just another quick thing. I saw somebody mention diamond dots, and I've mentioned diamond dots before, and I wanted to show you what they are because it's not something that is necessarily like that I could show you in an episode because it would be immensely boring for you, and it's also not something that you typically have the supplies for in your house, but it is something that you can order online, and it is something that you can get in store. So while you are doing your essential grocery shopping, if you head over to the craft area, you might be able to find it. They're usually called diamond dots or diamond art or something of that. I would seal it before vinyl. You could probably seal it after vinyl too, because I don't think the vinyl would screw with the Sharpie at all. But you could seal it like before and then seal it after vinyl. You could even seal it with the low odor finish and then after vinyl, seal that with Mod Podge. That's what I would do. I actually haven't done the vinyl yet. That's something that I was working on before all of this happened. But I would seal it with the clear coat. And then after that, I would put the vinyl on. And then after that, either seal it again or do the Mod Podge. I'm going to grab my diamond dots. Okay. So this is diamond dots. It comes in a box, and you get a bag full of tiny little dots. Okay, this does require coordination. This does require focus. They do make them for younger kids that the dots are bigger. So this is what it looks like when it comes to you. It's got a little sticky mat over it, and then you stick the diamonds to the color-coded and design codes. Over here, it's coded so you can see which color you're supposed to use, and every single bag, let's see if you can see it, says what it is. Like that says A15 for that green. So you would go down to A15 and you would say, oh, the T's. And every T that you find on here, you would just put a little dot on. It's very, very simple. It comes with all of the tools that you need to do it. There's a little bit of wax, and you take the wax and you stick it in this little pen thing. I'll grab that too, because it kind of sounds obnoxious describing it for you when I have it right here. Comes with this little pen, and it comes with this tray so that you can set your diamonds in it, and it comes with this wax. So You take the pen, you just stick it in the wax, and you use this pen to pick up the diamond dot, stick it on where you want to go, and it's super, super, super simple, I promise. But it seems tedious, and it might not be something for everyone, but I absolutely love it, and I have showed it to clients that are the type of person to be super stressed about things that take long. I used to be the same way. I used to be the type of person that if I couldn't finish a project that time, in that moment, I didn't want to do it because I need that feeling of satisfaction, that feeling of accomplishment right then and there. But for those of you that are able to, it is immensely rewarding to be able to finish one. And I will see if I can back you guys up a bit without hurting the dog. This is the one that I finished. So for most of you, you will realize this is Starry Night. And I'll get it up close. Every single spot is a dot. This is something, it's kind of like paint by number, but a lot more simple and a lot less messy. I just do color by color. I dump out A1, and then I start with A1, and every single A1 that I find, I put the dot on. But this is gorgeous. I love it. And it took me a long time to do, but every second of it I enjoyed, I promise. If you're doing a project and you feel like it's stressing you out, and it's one of your coping skills, if you're doing a project and it's your job, you gotta do it. That's being an adult and responsible. But if you're doing a coping skill and it's stressing you out, that's the time to set it down and step away from it. Because your coping skills should not be contributing to any type of negative emotion. Your coping skills should be helping you, should be creating positive emotions, making you be able to take a mental break from what you're going through. A lot of people think that recreational therapy is just distraction. I've been asked, oh, you color for a living, that must be so simple. My job as a recreational therapist is so much more than that. And the things that I have seen and the things that I have been able to do and help with make it worth those comments. As I said earlier, everybody has a role and everybody's important. And something that we do in recreational therapy that we were trained to do is look at an activity and find its benefits. So if somebody is having trouble with their sight or they just had a stroke, you would look at a card game and see a card game. We would look at a card game and see things like tracking skills, identifying numbers, matching, things that when you have a stroke or you have an illness that sets you back with your knowledge, or if you're trying to teach kids certain things and make sure that their skills are up to par, those are the types of things that are being helped with just a simple card game. Okay, Uno is Uno and fun to some people, but to some people it's being able to match colors, being able to identify and remember the rules and carry that memory over to the next day and be able to play again. Different sports, working on range of motion, working on that memory and carryover, working on frustration tolerance and the ability to do an activity. There are certain people that as adults cannot tolerate doing something for themselves, having a good time and relaxing. They can't tolerate it. It's something that needs to be worked on. There are people that if they turn on one of those meditations from the Insight Timer app that I mentioned in the first episode, they wouldn't be able to listen to it because their mind is just all over the place and they feel like they need to be doing something else. Your time is worthy. Think about this. If you had 10 things to do in a day and one of them was for you, just one was for you, a couple were maybe a chore, and then the rest were important. If you ran late on something, okay, and you needed to take an activity out of those 10 activities, a heavy percent of us would take away the thing that was for us first because we feel like we don't deserve that time and we feel like we don't need that time. The people that understand how important that time is to you and how important it is to do those things that you enjoy, those are the people that have a really good grip on their mental health. And I mean, everybody has their bad days, but you have a lot more good days if you understand that you are worth that time. So schedule something in your time for yourself. And don't take away that time when you get short on stuff. Okay? The dishes can wait till tomorrow. The dishes can wait for the next, couple days because everybody's cooking at home and there are so many dishes. But sweeping can wait. Okay? Taking out the trash can wait. But that 30 minutes that you set aside to lay down somewhere and just rest, or to go outside and take a walk, or to burn a tile, those 30 minutes are some of the most important minutes of your day. And please remember to just know how worth that time you are. Because you can't give all of yourself to everybody if you don't feel whole yourself. Okay, you gotta save some time for you. All right, I'm done yapping. I'm going to prepare for tomorrow's video. Again, we're gonna do a little bit of woodworking tomorrow. And I'm gonna work on that quilling project so that I can show you what I came up with tomorrow. All right, have a great day. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay informed, and stay home unless you actually need to go out. Thank you all.